8 Simple Ways to Keep Mediocrity Away from Anything You Do. At Wesha TV we share limitless knowledge. Mediocrity. It's one word that could set you up with an internal conflict. Have you fighting over a blank page, unsynchronized music, an empty canvas, a horrible meeting, bad vibes and a shitty day? It's the one thing that is more dreadful than inactivity, more imperative than the destination you have in mind, scarier than taking the flagrant ride toward an easy way out, and at least as imposing and overpowering as the passion you set out to fulfill. Afterward, everything boils down to the few things you didn't do, and that you are going to come back to later in life and wish you had. It's because you began to patronize your inability that you ended up being inactive. You no longer had the catalogued vision of when you were going to live your dream, your muse, your meaning, and detoured toward the other 99% of scrap practices. You took the flagrant ride toward the easy way out. You let what you thought was mediocre in you get around to spoiling your passion, and decided to stand those to the test of time. Mediocre. It's what you call yourself when you don't know how you are going to commit to a process and embark on a journey you couldn't be sure is right for you. It's what you become when you can't go through a sensitive part of yourself to where you are able to give everything from your order and routine a new meaning, and adapt to a lifestyle where mornings aren't filled with caffeine, and nights aren't slept away entirely. It's what you look to a peer or a colleague if you can't go through meetings and conferences with an insightful and irrational mind, and as keynote speaker can't move the hearts of people to where you want them to empathize. However, if you can keep going down your road, and care only about the ways you can improve in whatever it is you do, you will be in a dynamic cycle of demanding only the best from yourself that other people can appreciate and consume with as much interest. Number 1. You have to prepare yourself to stand the worst kinds of failures. Most people never succeed because they are not, to say the least, prepared to take failures in their most basic forms. We always want to escape the vicious circle of mediocrity, but don't exactly go through the right processes of doing so with effectiveness and transparency. The only thing that stands between you and a mediocre product is the source you can always hope to learn from this side of the line. Number 2. Have your own voice. Having your own voice can go a long way to help you perfect your craft. It's when you try to do something that's entirely not yours that you make leaps your engine just was not designed to make, yet. Most people like to connect with the kind of vulnerability they thought they were the only ones who'd had. If you can share with others your deepest emotions just to assure them they are not alone, that it's alright to yearn for a shoulder to cry on, that it's okay to rip jeans to try and fit in, that you know exactly what it takes to go from having nothing and a few cents to having something and $1 million, because you've been there, then share. Number 3. Whip your confidence back into form. If you don't want to be the one who was pointed at and told all he ever created was mediocre content, with skills that weren't much up to par, you better start acting like you know what you are doing. You can't scare anyone by saying, boo, but you can get a lot done by just having the confidence that you can, rather than living a dreadful submission to becoming a clown instead. Number 4. Learn enough to be able to relate different fields of knowledge. Everything that you do comes from a resource pool that you have built for yourself over long periods of time, and through reading a lot of books, reflecting on podcasts and whatever it is you turn to for knowledge. And if you don't learn, you are not equipped for what it takes, and you may forever end up thinking it's how your mind works that you don't always find the words you need, or visions to follow, or inspirations to keep you moving. Number 5. Find a mentor. After all that you read, no resource in the world can teach you faster than a mentor who believes you are someone who can be molded into a solid person with a distinct and an impeccable skill set. A mentor can always save you the trouble of finding out what to pursue and what not to, which path to take, where to improvise, and how you can put more of your efforts in where they can tweak the necessary changes. Number 6. Devise an actionable strategy. There is very little you have to do to create a fail-safe method of building and honing your craft. It starts with creating a process that you can keep to for almost every day of the week, every month of the year. The point is, it is not particularly about keeping in constant touch with your craft, as much as it is to preserve consistency and ensure practice that will one day make you into a better person that you will find hard to believe was someone so mediocre once. Find out what works for you so well to maintain the consistency. And show up every day to get your hands dirty. Number 7. Always be open to criticism. Criticism is what makes you have a broad mind to the possibility of doing something the next time with better insights, and is also what helps you toward having the psychological shift from what you considered fundamental to what actually is. And someone is offering such enormous value for the cost of a heartbreak, if that. If, then, that's the price you have to pay, don't think twice. Pay it. Number 8. Mediocrity is contagious. Never surround yourself with people who can give it to you. The factors of the environment you are in and the people surrounding you can alter the way you think, act and perform in more ways than you would have wished. If all you surround yourself with are people who think it's too much to wake up early in the morning to do what needs to get done, who spend Friday nights in bars, and who don't care if they even have to do something to make their marks on this world, that's who you will become. Instead, surround yourself with people smarter than you, and have yourself practicing their methods and tactics so that you can outperform yourself constantly. Thank you for watching. For more education content, check our prescription below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit notification icon bell.